Hello everyone, my name is Claude and I'm here with Rachel.
Hello.
Thanks Rachel for coming today and allowing us to take you through an orientation of the Compass paperless AP solution that Converga has developed specifically for Compass site managers to use in processing their invoices. Now in terms of scope, today's presentation will be about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And should cover off all you need to know to make accounts payable as easy as a couple mouse clicks.
Great.
So here we go. In terms of the format, before we begin and showing you around this application here, I might just recap the overview of the process so you know where this application fits in the scheme of things.
Okay.
So I've got a little diagram here that shows the basic process as we understand it, where you've got goods and services being ordered by yourself at the site level, and as soon as you receive those, you get some delivery dockets associated with that
Yes.
order. Now you hang on to those dockets, and in the new process, the invoices will be sent directly by the supplier to the Compass accounts payable locked bag. Now what will happen is Converga will process those invoices and capture the information on them, like invoice amount and goods, etc., and populate a site manager queue specific to your site into your username and profile.
Okay.
Now, when you open the site manager queue in the app in the solution, you can then refer to your supplier dockets, delivery dockets, and help you to quickly process these invoices.
Okay.
Now, I expect you'll probably be doing this on a daily basis,
Okay,
and
okay,
you'll
yes,
get
wondering
some,
about that.
you'll get some reminders through the email as to how many invoices are in your queue waiting to be processed. Because the locked bag will be cleared every day, so
Okay.
depending on some days you might get no invoices, but the next day you might get 15, depending on how often the suppliers are sending them in for payment.
Right.
Now in terms of invoices, you can do three things to them. You can approve them, hold them, or reject them. If you approve an invoice, that goes straight through to your finance system and a check gets issued to the supplier.
Okay. Yes.
If you hold an invoice, so for instance you've ordered 15 chickens and you only get 10, you can then put that invoice on hold as you see it appear in your queue, and wait for the balance of the chickens to come in, or for the supplier to issue you a credit note. At which
Okay.
stage you can then approve both the invoice and the credit note together
Right.
for the check to be issued. Or if for some reason there's still a problem, you can reject that invoice, and that'll go along with all the other invoices that you happen to reject. That'll go straight through to accounts payable, and they can action them.
Okay.
So that's the basic overview of the process, and now we'll get into this particular application. I'll help you with your day-to-day activities.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, now before we get started, Rachel, I just want to walk you through a couple things to make sure
Okay.
that as you sit down to process these invoices at your workstation, that you actually got all the right tools at your disposal. So usually the first thing I recommend is that you confirm that your internet connection is working.
Okay.
And I usually do that by typing in news.com.au. That's usually a very reliable site to make sure that your internet connection is working. And as soon as you see the news information come up, at least you know that you've got a live internet connection. So that looks all okay.
Okay. Yes.
And now that we know your internet connection is working, let's go to the actual site that was up before, which is http://workflow.converga.com.au/compass. Now just notice
Okay.
that it's HTTP and not web.
Okay.
When
Not
you type that in.
www.
That's right.
Okay.
So type that in, and I'll take you into a login screen, and we've configured you with a username and password.
Okay.
But before we go into the application, there's just one more thing to check. Is for instance here we're running Google,
Okay.
and
right.
there's other software that do the same type of feature as Google, and that's they block pop-ups from coming up. So I don't know if you've experienced when you're doing some research on the web, you get occasional pop-ups that come up.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yes.
actually,
Like advertisements.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, yes.
So there's actually ways of blocking those. In the option,
Oh.
they allow you to, here it says pop-up blocker. So you can, if you want, select that and apply it, and then from now on it'll pop all
Stop those.
the pop-ups. But however, that'll also disable some of the features of our application. So you
Alright.
need to make sure that's actually deselected.
Okay.
Or there's also, if it is selected, you can deselect the pop-up blocker for only this site. So you've got those options, but just to make sure that they're not applied. So we'll
Okay.
apply that here to make sure that it doesn't interfere with our orientation today.